Hello and welcome back to a classic TBC preparation video. Today I want to talk about how you can prepare yourself for the leveling experience in TBC to set yourself up for the fastest and smoothest experience from level 60 to 70 as possible. If you thought you were prepared for TBC, think again, because the launch will be an absolute nightmare unless you're prepared for it, and even if you're prepared, it will still be a nightmare. Even with layers and all that stuff, I still see this being so chaotic in the beginning. You gotta remember, TBC was made way back in the day when people didn't even think about bottlenecks, and that wasn't even an issue. But now everyone having to run through the same portal, a million people standing on the same 10 square feet pixels, and once you're through the dark portal, everyone and their mother will be doing the same quests or the same dungeons, basically fighting each other for tags over quest mobs, or trying to avoid getting ganked on their way to the dungeon itself. You already know that if you're on a PvP server, several mages from the other faction will be spamming Frost Nova and Arcane Explosions on both sides of that portal, so good luck with that. However, with this video, you might be a little bit more prepared, so let's get into it. First off, make sure you bring some consumables from Classic into TBC, so you can do more DPS and pull more. If you use mana, bring mana and healing potions, and if you don't use mana, you just need to bring health potions. Utilizing your health and mana to pull more effectively will really help speed things up. On top of this, I would recommend bringing elixirs or flasks as well. If you're a physical DPS, the elixir of demon slaying is really strong for many zones in the Burning Crusade, and if you're a caster, you can just go for a couple of spell power flasks, like the ones you use when raiding. Also, to combat the bottlenecks, and especially the mages, Frost Nova, and Arcane Explosions at the Dark Portal, you might want to bring some lips as well, so you can avoid damage, and try to sprint away and avoid that whole mess. And I think you should bring some lips and faps anyway, just in case you need them later on, because you never know when they might be handy. Next up, have a dungeon group ready. From level 60 to 70, you will want to run a lot of dungeons for reputation, specifically from level 60 to 64 or 65, until you unlock the more important zones where you have some important quest chains you will want to do, like the Ring of Blood in Nagrand, that can reward you with nice weapons or nice armor, and you'll also want to do some quest chains to unlock more dungeon quests. At level 68, you can also unlock the Karasan attunement quests, and begin doing those as well, and I would recommend doing those while they give you experience, just like the Onyxia attunement quests in Classic. The reason why you want to do dungeons is pretty much twofold. First of all, you want to save quests for later, so you can do them at level 70, because at that point, they give you a lot more raw gold, because the experience you would get is converted into extra gold rewards, and also, second of all, you need the reputation you get from the dungeons to do heroic dungeons later. Basically, to do heroic dungeons in TBC, you must earn Honored Reputation status with a specific faction related to that instance. Once you're honored, you can buy the key for heroic dungeons from that faction's quartermaster. You will also want to push your reputation to revert as well, so the more reputation you can obtain while leveling, the better it is. Another thing to consider, especially if you're on a PvP server, is to have someone in your dungeon group have a second account, or use an alt to invite yourself so you can log out inside the dungeon and reset on the alt when you are all logged out, because that way you log in at the start of the dungeon and don't have to go outside to reset. If you're on a high pop PvP server, there will be a lot of PvP action and possibly even ganking going on outside the dungeon entrances, so avoiding that will save you a lot of time. As for which dungeons you should do, I'm sure you've seen many guides on this already, but here's a quick recap. From level 60 to 62, Hellfire Ramparts or the Blood Furnace is the best choice. If you can get yourself through the Dark Portal alive and well enough to pick up the Hellfire Ramparts quests, you might want to do one Hellfire Ramparts run first to do those quests, then get the follow-up quests for Blood Furnace, and start spamming that one instead. Otherwise, just focus on Blood Furnace. A full run of Blood Furnace gives you 750 reputation, so to get to Honored, which is your goal for this dungeon leveling strategy, you will need to do 12 runs of the Blood Furnace. From level 62 to 64, you will be doing Slave Pens or the Underbug. The Underbug gives slightly more reputation per run, but they both give more or less 1k rep per run, so about 9 to 10 runs should be enough. From level 64 to 66 you will be doing Sephic Halls, Mana Tombs or the Orkanite Crypts. These should also give about 1000 reputation per run, depending on which dungeons you choose, so 9 to 10 runs should be enough here as well. At this point, once you hit level 65 or 66, you will most likely have hit the daily lockout cap for dungeon resets, if nothing changes from Classic, so you will most likely want to do some quests. This is when I would recommend doing the Ring of Blood quest in Nagrand for some chunky experience, and if you're ahead of the pack, just enjoy questing in zones with less people and less competition. Now the third thing to consider is doing quests in Shadowmoon or Netherstorm that can also net you some pre-bis items for raiding as well, depending on how well geared you are from Classic. If you're planning on doing quests, it is crucial to get ahead of the pack, so you can have as little competition as possible for mobs, plus being able to get the big boy quests early. Like for example, the Ring of Blood in Nagrand, where only one group can do that quest at a time. Being there before others will be crucial if you want that quest done early. Being a good DPS solo class like a hunter will be able to quest really efficiently, and by using elixirs and potions, you can speed this up tremendously, like for example Elixir of Demon Slaying and Swiftness potions, and health potions as well obviously. So basically if you want to do quests, it's straightforward, you just quest, but you want to bring as many utility potions, healing potions, and basically as much help as you can on the way, so give yourself some speed through swiftness potions, have healing potions, pull a ton of mobs, and do everything you can to be as efficient as possible, because if you're only doing quests and not doing any dungeons, you have to be super fast and stay ahead of the pack. So first of all you need to do something right in the beginning to get yourself ahead of the pack, then you have to keep the speed up to actually stay ahead of the pack as well. Now that is basically it for my TBC leveling preparation video. I just wanted to cover dungeon leveling mostly, and also something about questing, but questing is pretty straightforward. You just have to follow some questing guide and do everything you can to speed yourself up, so bringing consumables is really important. Now speaking of consumables, I have talked about my TBC investments earlier as well, which actually covers a couple of consumables, so if you want to check out my TBC investments videos, I will leave a link to those in the description and a pinned comment as well. But that is it for this video guys, just a quick little TBC leveling preparation video to talk about what I am doing myself to prepare for TBC leveling, and what you can do as well. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like on it, leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't done so. I will be doing a lot more TBC content closing into TBC launch, so for TBC videos, make sure you subscribe. And that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.